Good evening, guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to discuss a few reasons why I think people should wear dresses more often, or why I have discovered that I like wearing dresses more often. So this isn't to try to persuade you one way or the other, really. It's just to share my experiences with you. I know that when I was sort of making some changes to my own wardrobe, I found these videos very, very helpful and very inspirational, and there was only a handful of them. I couldn't really find a lot of videos that were dedicated specifically to wearing just dresses, or why you should wear just dresses, or how to do that, and the ways that it positively impacts your life. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Alithia. I would love if you would consider subscribing to my channel. And if you're interested in skincare and makeup and other beauty things, you can feel free to subscribe to my other channel, which will be linked in the description box below. So without further ado, let's get started in today's video. I hope that everybody is having a really nice fall so far. We've been having some beautiful weather here, and I've just been really loving the fall vibes. I've been loving the trees changing color and the leaves turning orange and the slightly cooler weather, and it's just been a really, really nice fall for me so far, and I've been loving still wearing dresses into the fall, and I hope to continue doing so in the winter as well. And of course, I'll share with you guys all of my dress finds going forward. So I'm not going to go in any particular order, and I don't know how many points there will be. I was going to write out all the points, and I realized it's probably easier if I just talk from the heart, and however many points there ends up being, that's how many points there will be. So the first point, and this one is maybe not the most important, but it's a good one anyways, is that it's actually pretty easy to wear a dress every day. I know before I started wearing dresses every day, I only wore dresses on special occasions or when I wanted to quote unquote dress up. Because I work in healthcare, I wear scrubs and I spend a lot of time at home. And so previously I would spend most of my time wearing loungewear, scrubs, or activewear. Very rarely would I have an occasion where I needed to put on a dress or put on something nice. I just didn't need to. But I always really admired the traditional feminine attire, which was to dress like women, dress elegantly and dress ladylike, and wear dresses. I've always really admired that. And I always, like I've shared with you guys in other videos, I always really admired the way my grandma used to dress. She would never leave the house without putting herself together, and she would always wear something feminine. She would always look very ladylike and very put together. And I've always really loved that traditional housewife kind of vibe. And I feel like overall society in general has really lost a lot of that. It's very rare these days to see a woman wearing a dress on a regular occasion, unless there was some reason, like A, she was going to the office, or B, she had some sort of fancy event. And I sort of miss, not that I was around for it, but I sort of miss the idea that women would always just put themselves together and look very presentable and look very ladylike. It's actually quite easy to put on a dress, is what I've discovered. Before I was wearing dresses every day, I knew that I wanted to, and I was intrigued by the idea, but I sort of didn't really know how that was going to look, and I also didn't know how hard it was going to be or how much work it would be. And it seemed to me that it would be a lot of work. It seemed like it would be a lot of effort to quote unquote put myself together every single day and put on a dress. And for some reason, I associated putting on a dress with putting in too much effort and taking too much time in the morning and having to think about it too much. And it just seemed overall like it would take a lot more effort on my behalf, when actually what I discovered is it takes a lot less effort to get ready in the morning with a dress. Putting on a dress is just one article of clothing versus putting on two articles of clothing that you have to mix and match. You have to find a pair of pants and a shirt. You have to choose what pair of jeans you're going to wear, or what pair of leggings, or what pair of other bottoms you're going to wear, and then you have to find a top to go with it. And then if you are actually trying to put yourself together and look nice, you have to worry about whether the top is going to go with your bottoms, and it actually takes a lot more time and effort to do that. Not to mention it takes twice the amount of time, because it only takes a few seconds to throw on a dress, but it takes a few more seconds to put on a shirt and put on a pair of pants. So actually it takes a lot less time and effort to put on a dress. And one thing I've been working on is really curating my wardrobe to make sure it's full of lots of different types of dresses that are appropriate for all different seasons. Of course, we're just leaving summer, and I do live in a 4-season country, so I need dresses that are going to be a little bit more appropriate for fall, and then dresses that are going to be more appropriate for winter. So both in the prints and the colors and the style, as well as the fabric and how warm or cool it keeps me. So I'm really having a lot of fun doing this. I'm discovering that I can actually wear a lot of dresses that I didn't think I could wear. I'm discovering that I actually can pull off a lot of things that previously I didn't think I could pull off. And it's been quite fun and quite enjoyable for me crafting this wardrobe around feminine attire and realizing that I can wear a dress every single day and with really minimal effort and feel great about myself doing it. That would be the first point, is that it's actually very easy and probably will save you time and actually will probably reduce decision fatigue because you only have to think about one piece of clothing. As long as you organize your wardrobe, I think the best way to do it would be into seasons. So spring and summer dresses, fall dresses, and winter dresses. I think that would be the best way to do it. And I think that's a project I'm going to do going forward, and I'll bring you guys along with me when I do it. The second reason I think people should wear dresses every day, and that I like wearing dresses every day, is that you instantly feel more put together, more elegant, more feminine, and more sophisticated. It's amazing how you really don't even have to do anything differently to your hair. However you normally style your hair is perfectly fine, but just the simple act of replacing your t-shirt and leggings or whatever it is that you would wear with a dress, or a t-shirt and shorts or jeans with a dress, that simple act of swapping out those garments, even if you don't do anything fancy to your makeup or hair, you instantly already look more put together. It's kind of an interesting paradox I've talked about in another video, which is that when you wear a dress out in public, people perceive you as having put more effort into your appearance, that you look like you care about your appearance. You give off this impression that you really respect yourself and you really care about how you feel and how you look, and you look like you just care. You look like you give a crap, to be, if I can be crude. Where I feel like a lot of people these days give off the impression that they just don't care. They show up in whatever, they don't care what it looks like. They often look maybe even a little bit sloppy. They don't care if they go to the store in their pajamas, if it happens to be later in the day or something, and they just have to grab milk. And people, I think overall we kind of just resign ourselves to mediocrity in a sense, and I found out that that was kind of what I was doing too. So when you wear a dress, you give off this impression, and you feel like you have put so much more time and effort into your appearance. You instantly look more elevated, more sophisticated, more elegant, and more feminine without really putting in any more effort. So that's the paradox. You look like you've put so much more time in, but really you actually took less time, because it, as we've established, it doesn't take that much time to put on a dress. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a fancy dress, and you don't have to do any crazy makeup look. It can be a very minimal makeup look, or you don't even have to wear makeup, just maybe a touch of lip balm and mascara, and you're ready to go, and you just already look like you put more effort in. So that was one thing that was really missing for me, if I can get a little bit more personal, and that was really contributing, I think, a lot to my depression last year. I was really struggling last year. Overall, I think because I would save my nice clothing, my full makeup days, my perfumes, my jewelry, I would save doing my hair nicely for special occasions. For me, that special occasion would be if I went out for dinner every once in a while. If I went on a trip, I would also put more effort in if I had like an appointment to go to, like if I was going to get my nails done or something. And so that was only happening for me maybe, I would guess 5% of the time, not even, like maybe 2.5 to 5% of the time, honestly, because obviously my whole life is not a vacation, and I don't always have a special occasion to go to, and I also don't work in an office. I was really not putting my best foot forward enough, and I was feeling like I was spending my entire life waiting for something. Like I was waiting for that next trip. I was waiting for that next time I would go out for dinner. I was waiting for New Year's Eve. I don't know if you guys recall my older videos when I would do declutters, but I would share with you guys that I had all these nice dresses that were sort of occasion dresses, like for going out for New Year's. And I would tell you guys, hopefully this year I'll go out for New Year's and I get a chance to wear this dress, which of course I didn't do, because I'm not one to party, and I'm not a drinker, and I'm not somebody who goes out just because it's New Year's and lights up the town or whatever. So year after year would go by and I wasn't wearing my nice things, and I would just feel so depressed about it, thinking, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with my life? Why am I not wearing my nice stuff? There must be something wrong with my life. I have to make changes. I have to move to a different city. I have to get a different job. I have to start going out more. Maybe I need to be more social, even though I'm very introverted and I love being at home. And I just kept thinking, something's wrong with my life. I'm not living that life that I want to live, when really every single day was an opportunity for me to live my best life and be my best self and put my best foot forward. Every single day was an opportunity for that. I just wasn't taking the opportunity. So what I've discovered is that by creating a wardrobe that is made up of more casual pieces, not dressy dresses, but just daytime dresses, just casual, everyday, comfortable, but still pretty feminine dresses. By doing that, I now have an opportunity every single day to live that sort of fantasy self, if you will, that I was saving for special occasions. So now it's not such a big deal to me if we don't go out for dinner for a little while, because I still get to wear my dresses. I still get to feel beautiful and feminine every single day. I don't have to go on a vacation or have a special moment or have a special dinner to go to where I finally get to feel amazing. Every day is a chance to feel amazing. So by wearing dresses every day, you get to feel like the best version of yourself every single day. Okay, one more sort of maybe not so important point, but I still think a valid point, is that I actually think it's less expensive to wear dresses every single day than to wear a whole bunch of other clothing. As we know, jeans are very expensive, sweaters are expensive, bottoms in general. If you're going to get nice bottoms, like a nice pair of tailored trousers, you're not going to be paying much less than maybe $75 to $100 for that item, depending on where you live. Your outfit on average is going to cost you at least twice as much if you wear separates. Whereas if you wear dresses, you're looking at, depending on where you shop, anywhere from literally $15 to, depending on what your budget is, you can spend hundreds if you want, but I certainly don't spend hundreds. But you can get an entire outfit for like 25 or 30 Canadian dollars if you buy on sale or if you know where to look. So you literally can save yourself like 60% on your entire wardrobe. I know that when I'm buying separate pieces, a cashmere sweater is going to run me, $100 to $200, and you can't just wear the same cashmere sweater every single day. So it really limits your options. Whereas when you have a whole bunch of flowy dresses that are appropriate for summer, they're not costing you that much. So I really do think that it saves you a little bit of money. I've actually been loving shopping for dresses because I'm noticing it's actually so inexpensive compared to the types of things I would look for before. So this, I think, is not only more fun and more enjoyable and makes you feel better about yourself, but it's a great opportunity to go through your wardrobe, maybe post a couple items on Poshmark and get rid of some of those jeans that you paid a good amount of money for, recuperate a little bit of your money, and you can probably free up quite a lot of bulk and a lot of weight from your wardrobe and just make it look overall more beautiful and more princess-like and more pretty. I know that now, since I've started wearing dresses every single day, I don't even gravitate anymore toward my long sleeve t-shirts that I used to love, and they still might come in handy for a layering essential with some of my skirts and stuff like that. So I haven't completely written them off and I haven't taken them out of my closet yet, but I am a very feminine woman, I guess. I love anything that is girly, feminine. I love ruffles and pleats and frills and pearls and florals. I love all that stuff. I love the look of it. So my closet is sort of slowly transforming into this like princess vibe rather than being a whole bunch of separates that honestly I wasn't reaching for anyways, unless I was traveling or going somewhere kind of special. Whereas the dresses, not only do I want to wear them every single day, they're so easy. They make me feel so much better about myself. And they're just easy. I don't have to think too hard. I just have to pick one, see if I'm feeling the print that day or the color, and it's just very easy for me. So my wardrobe is getting a lot more use out of it. So wearing dresses every single day can save you money, help you declutter, help you sort of curate a nicer, more well-rounded wardrobe to begin with. And I think it will actually save you money in the end. And the last point is that people will respond differently to you. Your life will actually change when you start putting yourself together and being more presentable and dressing more femininely and more elegantly. And you might say, well, I don't care what people think of me. It doesn't really matter what people think of me. And that's a valid point. You shouldn't care. The most important thing should be that you feel good about yourself. However, there is something to be said for being presentable, putting yourself together, respecting yourself enough to wear something other than sloppy, casual clothing every day, and actually putting something nice on that makes you look more feminine and more presentable and more elegant. It's hard to explain without making it seem very sort of self-centered or egotistical, I guess, because it really doesn't matter what people think of you, but people will respond differently to you. I feel like your relationships will improve. You're more likely to make friends. People are more likely to help you. They're more likely to go out of their way to help you. Something I've noticed personally for myself is that the days that I wear, because I still do, like first thing in the morning, sometimes I'll go to the dog park in just a pair of leggings and my nice warm coat and my runners. I notice that when I wear something that is a little bit more lazy, let's put it that way, people are less likely to say good morning. People are less likely to engage in conversation with me. Whereas when I wear a nice dress, people notice you, people take notice. Men in particular almost always respond in a more positive manner to you. It's actually quite interesting, and I could make a video about this, talking about the difference between how women treat you and how men treat you when you wear dresses. Women go in one of two directions. They either respond more positively to you, or they completely go the opposite direction and actually respond more negatively toward you than when you were dressing more slovenly. And I think the reason for that is that the women who actually are more respectable toward you and more kind and more friendly toward you, and they treat you with more respect, those women themselves already are in that same era that you're in. They already also feel the same way about themselves. They respect that. They appreciate when people put effort into their appearance. They think that you look respectable. They appreciate that you look respectable. And a lot of times this is an older generation of women, or a more upper class generation or upper class demographic of women who either have more money, or they already dress really, really well themselves, or they have a really good job or something like that. It's the people who are a little bit in the lower demographic, I notice, who maybe aren't there, or the people who are just unhappy with themselves. Maybe they've got something about themselves they're not happy with, and they're sort of projecting that onto you. And instead of pleasant and friendly toward you, they sort of look the other way and are a little bit more rude, because maybe they're feeling bad about themselves. That's how I interpret it. People who feel good about themselves are going to appreciate when you are also doing well in life, and people who are miserable and not happy with themselves will treat you worse when they see that you are looking nice and doing nice things and having nice things happen to them in life. So it's very interesting. The women, it kind of goes two directions. However, I will say that the majority of women have responded in a positive manner to me when I do wear nice dresses than otherwise. However, when it comes to men, it's interesting, because I would say it's pretty much 100% of men will respond in a better way when you do put yourself together, and when you do dress more femininely and you are in your feminine energy. And I think that's because we as women are attracted to masculinity in men, and men as men, being masculine, are attracted to femininity in women. So you just are more magnetic. You will draw people toward you. Not that I'm looking for attention from men. I'm in a very happy, committed relationship. I just think it's really interesting that, for example, if I wear a dress to go do errands or go to get groceries or anything, men are more likely to hold the door. They're more likely to look at you and smile at you and say hello. They're more likely to try to talk to you. People are more likely to try to help you. They're just in general more, men and women both in general are just more likely to engage with you in a positive manner. And so that says something, because even if you think about it yourself, like if you think about yourself and the person that you were attracted to, you probably had a better chance of being attracted to that person and wanting to date that person or be with that person if you saw them put a little bit of effort in and have some confidence and have some charisma and wear something nice and actually comb their hair and maybe throw on some cologne or some perfume or whatever. You were probably more likely to be attracted to that person because they're giving off this energy about them, this confident energy that says, I care, I put myself together, I bring something to the table, versus if it's a person who kind of is cursing like a sailor, not treating their bodies very well, eating and drinking low energy foods, not putting themselves together, not combing their hair, and basically showing up as if they just rolled out of bed and they just don't care. So we appreciate when people around us put in more effort, and people around us appreciate when we put in more effort. So this is a long kind of convoluted topic, and I could probably do an entire video about it, but it's just been incredible. Like, my experiences in general are 10 times better when I wear a dress than if I don't. My experiences in general, every interaction, whether it's an interaction with a person, with a business, something that I'm doing, even if I'm going shopping, for example, to Sephora. One of my favorite things to do is to get a nice coffee and go to Sephora and just walk around and sniff perfumes and swatch different makeup products and just enjoy the vibes. You know, I just like looking around and window shopping and things like that. And I just really enjoy doing that. And the experience of doing that, for example, I remember I used to go sometimes when I just didn't really care. I just wasn't, you know, I thought, well, it's my day off. I don't really care. Like, it's cold outside. It's whatever. I'm just gonna show up in my leggings and t-shirt and like with my coat and whatever, you know. And the experience doing that, it just wasn't a great experience. Whereas these days, if I put myself together, it doesn't have to be fancy, you know, comfortable, but put myself together, wear a nice dress, something casual, wear a nice cardigan, wear my nice handbag, just put a couple curls in my hair and just show up and then do the exact same thing, drink my coffee and walk around. It really adds to the experience. It amplifies and multiplies the entire experience, and it all just feels very good and very cohesive. So I guess this would be the final point. When you put your best foot forward, when you put effort in and put yourself in your most feminine era and in your most feminine energy, and you wear these dresses and you are living up to your fullest potential every day, you want to be seen in the world. You want to be seen in the world and you want to engage in the world, and you don't want to recoil and hide and shy away from things. I think that you open up opportunities for yourself when you put your best foot forward, because you're much more likely to engage in a conversation with somebody. You're more likely to meet somebody. You're more likely to talk to somebody and ask them how their day's going and compliment that person. And you're going to have conversations and you're going to meet people and you're going to open up doors that you wouldn't have opened up had you been wearing, you know, basically pajamas and being like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't run into anyone today because look how terrible I look. You know, those memes that you see on Instagram where people say, you know, the day that I put myself together, I see nobody. And the day that I show up wearing like sloppy clothes, I run into everyone I know, and that's just Murphy's Law. Well, you can avoid that whole situation if you just every day put on a casual, comfortable dress. It just solves so many problems. And so if there's something to be said for that, you know, literally the day that you don't put yourself together, you will run into Prince Charming or that person that you know from work or somebody who you went to high school with or something. You're going to bump into somebody and you're going to think, oh gosh, I look terrible today. Why did I have to run into that person? You don't have to ever feel like that again. You can feel like the best dressed person there every single day, and people will take notice. And I think that it sets a great example for the rest of society. It shows the world that, hey, people still care. People still uphold a certain standard. And even though we've gotten so comfortable and so slack and so liberal and so forgiving with the way that people show up today, and the amount of effort people put in, there's still something to be said for putting your best foot forward, for having some dignity, for having some integrity, and for actually caring. And it sets a very nice example. For me personally, I think it's very refreshing when I see people actually put their best foot forward and actually put effort in. And I really, really appreciate it. And I hope that we never lose that completely as a society. That is today's video. Those are my thoughts for today's video. I hope that you found this video somewhat enjoyable, helpful, inspirational, informative. I will be doing more videos on this in the future, and I'm going to obviously share with you guys all of my finds when I get new dresses or how I make it work for winter fashion, because obviously winter is a little bit harder to wear dresses because it gets cold and snowy, especially where I live. So if I can do this here in Canada, you guys, you can do this anywhere, because we have some pretty harsh weather sometimes. So, but I'm determined to make it work. I'm determined not to go back to being comfortable just wearing leggings and some sloppy t-shirt to go to the store. So yeah, that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope to see you all very soon in my next one. Bye for now.